Okay, back to my Sasquatch story, my own personal experience. Last year on a Monday in September, that was the year 2020, right in the middle of COVID season. Everybody's isolated or quarantined, nobody's traveling, everybody's worried about dying from COVID-19. Anyway, on a Monday, there was no one up here. I drove up here to go hiking and actually to come to this exact same spot. But on the way, and there were no cars. Normally there's a lot of cars, but on this Monday it had been raining all weekend and there were no cars, no people around. And halfway up here, or 3/4 of the way up here, I happened to look in the rearview mirror and there was a black figure crossing the road behind me, about 600 feet behind me. Again, I was looking in the back rearview mirror and I was going the speed limit, which is 40 kilometers per hour, which is about almost 30 miles an hour, so fairly slow. And I could see this large, tall, about 9 feet high, black figure across the road. And I wouldn't think much about it. It wasn't a moose, it wasn't a bear, it wasn't a horse, it wasn't a person on a horse. I could see it distinctly, and I have very good eyesight. Anyway, this thing, I could tell it was female, and it took one stride and crossed from the center line to the side of the road, which when I went out and measured it, that was a 9-foot stride. And I cannot even jump 9 feet, let alone a stride of 9 feet. So this thing was huge. And from that stride, I estimate 9 feet. And I estimated if I'm 6, and it was 9. And if I'm 250 pounds, it was 500 pounds. So it was very large, very big, and very active. I saw it for maybe a couple seconds at the most, just in time from halfway across the road to disappearing into the bush on the other side of the road. And it was all in the rearview mirror. I immediately turned around and went up to the spot. Got out, looked for it, couldn't find it. There was no sign of it. Then I continued on my walked here to North Beach, enjoyed the day, went back home, and then reported it to BRFO, or BFRO, excuse me. Anyway, I thought they were official. I have reported it to them. Thank you. Anyway, my story about bears is that there were plenty of bears. Had to chase them away every morning out of the picnic area and the campsites, so the crew could pick up the garbage and put it in my garbage truck. But I have to say, and then I have been coming here hiking, and I hiked before I even worked here, and now I hike almost every day up here. And in all those years, at least let's say 60 years of coming here, and I used to come here as a kid with my family, go swimming here very often. There was no Sasquatch. I never saw a Sasquatch until last year during COVID, when no one was around. I saw something, and I can go into more details on that, but no Sasquatch while I was working here every day, 8 hours a day. And I love the lapping of the waves in what I consider to be Hawaii, until I actually got to go there. But this was my closest impression of Hawaii. Hawaii was this little beach here. And my story about Bigfoot in this area begins right here. More than 50 years ago I worked at this exact spot. This is Alouette Lake, and this is North Beach of Alouette Lake. Never having been to Hawaii, my impression that this was like as close as I could get to Hawaii in Canada. And the beach that I'm on, it was sandy. It was sandier than it is now, but it was a nice sandy beach. In the summer, because it's shallow, the water would get warm, I believe up to 90 degrees close to shore, and in the slight little bays that are here. So it was a very nice place to go for a lunch break when I was working in the park here. Now I have to say I had to get up and be here at 5 o'clock every morning, and my first job was to go scare away the bears. And at that time they were grizzly bears, brown bears. And my job was, as driving the garbage truck, was to scare the bears away from the garbage cans so that the employees could take the garbage and put it inside the garbage truck without being attacked by a wild animal. The other animals were skunks and raccoons, the odd black bear, but because there were grizzly bears here, I don't believe there were so many black bears. I don't recall seeing maybe only the occasional black bear, but every morning grizzly bears, big grizzly bears, the brown bears. Now interestingly, after 50 years, there are apparently no brown bears left here. They're all black bears, and the black bears have multiplied and basically taken over. The brown bears have been pushed into the more northern regions, which is unfortunate. Okay, returning to Sasquatches, the Bigfoot in the States. Sasquatch is a hominid, that is a human-like creature, kind of akin to the great apes, humans, gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, gibbons even. So the government, I believe, has admitted that they do occur, at least sections of the government, especially in the United States. I've heard a story that the Navy had stated that Sasquatches, or down there Bigfoot, do actually occur. And they are alive and they are a species. Okay, it's never been fully documented, at least scientifically and published in the medical literature. There are contests for gathering and proving the DNA, but no one's ever accepted the money and proven that there is Sasquatch or Bigfoot DNA. Supposedly Yeti, which is a relative of the Sasquatch and Bigfoot, has been proven and documented, but again, I have not seen exact scientific publications on that, so that is, to me, still up in the air. Now this is Golden Ears Park, part of the Garibaldi Park system, a national park in British Columbia, Canada. This is right in the center of Bigfoot country. To the east a little bit is Harrison, which is like the Bigfoot capital, probably of the world. This is just a few miles of open and closed forest to get between Harrison and here. So I'm pretty sure if there's any Sasquatches roaming around, they do come in here as well. They're free to roam from Harrison to here quite easily. This shows the sightings around the park that I saw mine, Golden Ears Park, and here's the latest investigation of my sighting that was published on the internet. This is page 2 of the report and seems very legitimate. And here's where it was published, latest investigation. Here are the reported sightings throughout the world of Sasquatch. You can see they're mainly in Canada. And here's the reported sightings in the Fraser Valley. And you can see mine was on there. Here's all the thousands of sightings in British Columbia of Sasquatch. And relic hominids in antiquity have been published for thousands of years. And ancient Phoenician pottery had Sasquatches or Bigfoot depicted. Other hairy hominids were described and represented in artwork for thousands of years. And books have been written about the potential hominids, Sasquatch and Bigfoot, and where they lived. And people have been taking Bigfoot impressions of their feet for many, many years. And is this what I saw? Similar, but I saw no facial features. Again, the investigator seemed to be very unbiased, non-judgmental, and just interested in the scientific facts. He recorded everything, videotaped everything, recorded voice recordings as well. We spent quite a while traipsing through the woods here, looking for signs in the direction that he went. I'm not sure if he went actually in this direction, which was the direction it came from, but I did that. And then we went and videotaped a long discussion where he asked me a series of many questions that he asks all the observation witnesses of Sasquatch. At least that's what he's called up here, Bigfoot in the States. But probably similar, if not the same species. And again, this is all online. You can review it. I will put some references at the end and some pictures of the actual report. The videotape, even though I'm not identified and I'm not photographed, does have my speech involved, I believe. And you can review that as well. Okay, I'm not saying it was a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. I don't know what it was. It's probably a fake. But the big thing against being a fake is the 9-foot stride and the tremendous size that it was. From 600 feet, it was approximately 9 feet tall, to my estimation, and 500 pounds at least. And so at least probably almost twice as what I am. You may call me a grizzly bear, but few people call me a Sasquatch. Okay. Thank you. Okay, the other point, and the last point I wanted to make, is that, and why I'm uncertain about the existence of the hominids such as Sasquatch and Bigfoot, is that there are millions of dollars in reward for anyone who can present DNA evidence to various universities and companies. And someone would become very rich to the tune of millions of dollars if even one hair of a Bigfoot, which was analyzed and showed DNA evidence, was presented. Now the problem, nobody has come up with even one hair or one flake of Sasquatch, Bigfoot feces that would, beyond a shadow of a doubt, prove the existence of DNA Bigfoot. So that makes me very leery of saying that there is actually such a thing, such a hominid as Sasquatch up here or Bigfoot in the States. No one has ever come forth with even a body, which would be like the ultimate, but one hair of DNA. And I will go into this on another video of my investigation of a true, actual Sasquatch sighting and what it turned out to be. And that will be my next video. This is number 3 of a series of 6 videos on the hominids, the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, etc. And cryptozoology, you might call it. Believe it or not. Anyway, I saw something. Not sure what it was. Thank you.